Another day, another sun ray that I will always capture. And I am happy and grateful for the day. And the sun is out. So, whenever the sun is out, I like rush. I'm definitely out. I'm out. I'm outside. I have to absorb the rays. And because of that, I've found that I am my best in the sun. So it was a decision to actively always be in the sun. And was spent my formative years in Central California. So Central California, specifically the San Joaquin Valley, is the middle part of the central part of California. So it's directly in the middle, widthwise, and it's directly in the middle lengthwise. And because of this positioning, the land is rich and fertile for growth, for growing things, for fruit, for vegetables, for dairy, for animals. And so the Central Valley, San Joaquin Valley, California, produces probably 90% of the US's fruits and vegetables. But furthermore, a lot of around the world's dried apricots, pistachios. And I share that because the Central Valley often gets a bad rap. And it gets a bad rap because it's being compared to things that it's not. Thank you, York, for sharing the live. Thank you, thank you. And it's not about, here's the thing. Oh, I just stumbled upon 2 ladybugs. 3. Do you see all 3 of the ladybugs? This is how lucky I am. I saw one, and then I just looked down, and there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. 3 beautiful ladybugs. Do you know how great this makes my day? Because these are all signs of luck. To me, I take it that it's signs of you're on the right path. You're exactly where you need to be, which means everything that you've done until this moment is perfectly placed. You don't have to worry about anything. The fact that you just believe and not second guess yourself or whatever process you are in life in, you just go forward. And there's another ladybug. Oh, I'm just surrounded by ladybugs. Ladybugs and blue skies. So back to the San Joaquin Valley, or the Central Valley, which is a huge source of revenue for the state of California. And every state usually has prominent areas of revenue. But the state of California is unique because there's so many ways that the state generates revenue. California has Hollywood, so the movie industry and the music business and entertainment. California's colleges are for profit, so we have a robust college system, a UC system, a private college system, all for profit, which generates a lot of revenue for the state. There's people from all over the world that pay to be educated in California. Here's another ladybug. Ladybugs all around. So the educational system brings in quite a bit of money, the entertainment system. Then there's the farming. California generates trillions of dollars in revenue from the food industry, from the dairy industry, from drying fruits, from shipping them all around the world, and all of that is done from here. And because of that, a lot of the wealth is in the farmer's hands. And from that, California always has a story with water rights. I believe it's California, Nevada, and maybe New Mexico are constantly in talks over water ownership, because California believes that, hey, we have all these crops, we're farmers, we need this water, and we don't need to send it somewhere else. And I only know this because I'm from the Central Valley and it's constantly something that's being spoken of. But unless you were here, most people don't know that. And what's unique about that is it sounds great. I mean, it's a good tidbit of information, but it doesn't really mean anything. The fact that I know it. However, this story could have been helpful for someone in some way. And in that way, even though I believe it means nothing, if it was beneficial for someone, maybe it does mean something. And I share that to say we never know how just us being around someone affects them. We may not think it matters. We may not think that it has much impact. But it always does. And how to just be reminded of that. What's up, T? What's up, T? I'm back in the sun as always. I'm going to jump back to what I was saying earlier about being in the sun. I feel my best in the sun. When I had my emergency landing and I was embracing what post-traumatic stress disorder showed up as, which showed up as 3 months of not flying, because I was a flight attendant at the time, but I was not comfortable to get back on a plane. After the emergency landing, I did not know if I wanted this as my career, as you would. You know, it was quite a jarring experience. And so I took 3 months away from flying just to take time. Because my father had said, after it happened, and my father is a pilot and was a Huey helicopter pilot in Vietnam, and then a flight instructor when he came from Vietnam. So he understood this feeling of being on the plane. He would share with me the thoughts and the things that he would see, because to imagine being 20 or 21 and having people you know, so you've built somewhat of a camaraderie with, and you drop them in a war site, and then you come and you pick them up and their body is in several pieces. And that's what my father saw. And to understand that is to understand sometimes what people carry. And we never know what people carry. So I like to err on the side of just compassion. However, I had told my dad, I just had a emergency landing. Thank you for liking the live. Let's get these likes up. And he said, Hope, these things can change us. And often they do. So take your time. And I said, take my time? He said, take your time. And what he really meant was, you have no idea what just happened, and it's going to take some time, but it's going to make you take your time. Because having a life-changing experience, or NDE as they call it, it's supposed to put you into an existential crisis. Like that is the time to question life. And because I've lived a colorful life, I've had these times quite a few times. But it wasn't really the fear of dying. Truly, I accept that. And I live like that. I am not impulsive, but I'm always going to take the risk. If there's ever a time where there's a risk, I'm always going to take the risk, because to take the risk, there's always a reward. There's never a time where when you stayed in your comfort zone, it will benefit you. Never. So if there's a risk, if something is presented to me, I will always say yes. I will always say yes. Thank you, Don Thornton, 43, for sharing the live. Oh, this house has a beautiful lawn, because I appreciate a good lawn. But you know, I don't like a meticulously manicured lawn that's perfect grass. Like this is like beautiful with the rocks and just simple and unique, and does not look really like pristine. I like a yard to like look natural. So anyway, I take 3 months off. I think there was a day or two I didn't leave my room, but I didn't have to, because at the time I was living in a 3-bedroom, and my room had an ensuite bathroom. And my sister was in another room and my niece was in another room, but it was a quite large apartment. It was like 1,600 square feet. So it was huge. It was a really big place. And they knew that I had had an emergency landing, but I didn't like tell them like really how I was feeling. And it was tough. It was like, okay, this is my career, and I just had an emergency landing, which means, are you choosing to continue that career and challenge yourself to push through that discomfort, or do you just say bye? Bye, I ain't stepping back on a plane. Do you know what the heck? But it was more than that. It was, okay, that was the dream. The dream has been accomplished. You've learned these languages. You've seen so many foreign lands. You've lived abroad. You've conquered personal achievements and goals. What would you do? What do you want? Because if this thing called life just ends, I said I am going to take every moment doing what I want to do. Meaning living where I want to live, driving the car I want to drive, like engaging in a job or productivity or things exactly how I want. Not because society says this is stable, or my parents want me to do this, or this may be good money, but I hate it. No, what do I want to do? First, where do I want to live? Like where? Not, and being a flight attendant, it's, you can live anywhere. A lot of flight attendants live in different countries and they commute in. So whenever I think of moving, I never think of in my city. I just think, where in the world am I placing myself? It's never in the same vicinity. It's always usually a different country. And even to be that open, just to, when I move, I'm really moving. I'm taking myself out of a space that's familiar and really placing myself in an unfamiliar place, but it's where I want to be. And that's powerful, and I would challenge anyone to do that at least once. Not because this is where my job site is or it's cheap, like actually living where you want to live. If you want a 3-bedroom, but you just say, no, I can do with a 2-bedroom, no, get the 3-bedroom. Just allow yourself to really have a living space that you want. Not even stretch past what you can afford, because sometimes great things just happen. And I had someone say, well, if I want to move to New York, I can't afford it. You don't know that. Try. Not everyone living there things always work out. But if you don't try, if you already assume as soon as I get there it's not going to work out, I'll never find a place to live, I won't have the money, maybe someone will give you a deal. Everywhere I've moved, a deal has always been worked out. Everywhere. But I'm also not like a scoundrel. And to consistently not be a scoundrel means like people look out for you. I've been in consistent, good landlord. I guess housing is important for me, and I've always just found the best, luckiest situations. Just because I believe it will happen, and maybe that increases the chance. I don't know. All I know is I'm not going to expect myself not to be able to do it, ever. And when I sat down and made this exact list of where I want to be, I had already lived in Europe. So I said, I've already done that. I don't want to go back to Europe. I've lived in 2 European cities. Like, I've done it, but it's not the same, but it's generally the same. So I don't have a craving to move back to Europe. I really don't have a craving to move back to the US, but my parents are here, and I thank you, Joe, for the follow. And it was important for me to be like a day flight, 6-hour flight, like less than 12 hours, because when I was living in London, I would still come and visit my parents, and it was like, it's a bit more of a different travel day going London to California than going, I don't know, Mexico to California or South America to California. But I clearly thought of, I want to be closer to my parents. It doesn't have to be in the same city. I don't have that craving, but really making that decision. Do I want to move back to where my parents live? No. Okay, where do I want to move? Being a flight attendant, I never think of proximity because I always have the ability to travel anywhere. So I don't really think in the way, if you were always on airplanes, you may see distance differently. When someone says, I drove for 18 hours, I'm like, that is insane. You drove like 18 hours? That could be like in Asia. Driving? No, absolutely not. We aren't doing no driving like that. 18 hours? Did you get out of the car? Get out of the car. That's way too long to be in the car. And in saying that, I did take really nice road trips with my family. And I remember we took a road trip to the Grand Canyon, and we stopped in Vegas because my grandmother at the time lived in Summerlin. She retired. She was from LA. She bought some land and designed and built a home in the early 90s in the suburb of Summerlin. Beautiful home with rocks, because they don't have, you're in the desert. You're in the desert to water your plants. Oof, it's so much water. So she had beautiful terracotta, that coral rock in her front yard. And I always remembered it because I was like, rocks? Like, rocks? Just rocks? Just rocks? I love to walk on grass barefoot, but I was a kid and I'm thinking, Granny, where am I going to run around barefoot? Not on these rocks. So she was there. So we drove, I believe we flew to Vegas and then picked up, rented like a Suburban, because it was my father, my mother, and myself and my three sisters. And a Suburban has 6 seats in the back. So I do remember that. But we flew from California to Vegas, rented a car, a Suburban, and visited my grandmother. And my grandmother was the type to always keep the plastic on her couch. And I know it looks good, but you got to make a choice. Like, I want people to feel comfortable in my home. It's already going to look good. With the plastic on the furniture, not only does it not look good with the plastic on the furniture, it definitely doesn't feel good. It's not, I don't see the benefit of the plastic on the sofa. Like, it's ugly. So we visited her, and this is, maybe it was like 99, 98. This was a while ago. But I remember driving to the Grand Canyon. Yeah, that old school plastic, Robbie. It's so terrible, and most people can relate to it, but I'm like, what is the benefit? Yeah, it looks good, but so what? Just buy another couch. I don't know how that's really protecting your couch, because not a lot of butts are even sitting on the couch. So, this is a grandmother. She's not hosting dinner parties. People come over seldomly. You heard it from me. I would never have that. That is, ugh. Yeah, well, that's how she liked it, and I love that she liked it like that. So we hop on the road on our way to the Grand Canyon, and you see the beautiful salt flats. I think this is the trip where we also went through Utah, and you see the beautiful salt flats. And we stopped in Salt Lake City and saw I believe it's the Grand Cathedral. And Utah is really beautiful. I think it's Zion National Park is, I was allowed to sit on it. I just didn't listen. T, y'all don't understand. I was that kid that didn't listen. This is why I am like this. Even if they said, Hope, don't you sit on that couch? I was going to sit on the couch. I really didn't listen. I was really that bold kid. So even if someone did tell me not to sit on it, I wasn't going to listen. It's just a bunch of salt, but it's beautifully dried, and the colors of the earth and the soil and the dirt and the rocks is like a beautiful mosaic. And I loved that during that beautiful mosaic. And I loved that during that road trip. And the Grand Canyon, which I also suggested to my sisters, because when we went, I think I was 14 or 15, I would love to see it now. I can imagine, well, I don't really, it's not really crashing. You can't really crash a concert. You can crash a wedding, and I love that, but most of the time I'll just get invited. And I do love crashing a wedding. I have done it in some fabulous weddings. I remember, well, the last one was in New York at the Plaza Hotel. I remember that. So it was Fashion Week. This was right before I moved to Hawaii. So it was Fashion Week. I was with someone that I knew from my hometown, and we went to a show, and then no, maybe it was after, it was like something with Fendi that we walked out on. Anyway, it was something fashion related. And we left, but we were suited and booted. I remember that I had this vintage, I don't know the designer, but it was a vintage velour, double-breasted suit, high-waisted, tailored, beautiful, big hair. He looked great. And why did we go into the plaza? Maybe we saw them arrive into the Plaza Hotel, but we were by the Plaza Hotel. So I was like, let's go. Or maybe we went into the hotel to use the bathroom. Something. We went into the Plaza Hotel. We saw there was a wedding. He was like, Hope, you want to go in? I was like, of course. Because it was this huge wedding celebration. And we were dressed beautifully anyway. So we walked in and the people were like, yeah, yeah, yeah. They just started jumping with us and said if we wanted anything to eat, sat us down, got us our choice. There were 6 different options. They gave us the light sticks. We were dancing. They had these people on stilts at the wedding reception dancing. It was really cool. So that was in New York. And then there was another wedding. I crashed, but I was kind of invited. And this wedding was in Chicago. I was based in London because this was while I was based in London. And I worked London to Chicago. And we stayed downtown right on Wacker, right on the river, like downtown Chicago. And I worked in from London, landed, and we always have transportation that will pick us up and take us to our hotel. So the transportation arrives at the hotel, and I get out and I see like three older gentlemen, maybe they're like in their 50s, outside of the reception area smoking cigarettes. I don't think anything of it. I'm just situationally aware, so I see them. And then the driver who picked up all the flight attendants gets all of our bags out and puts them on the curb. So we grab the bags, and as I'm walking in, one of the guys says, hey, did you fly in? And I'm like, yeah, what? Who's just going to wear a flight attendant uniform with a bunch of other people wearing flight attendant uniforms? Yes, I just flew in. I mean, I didn't say that, but there's that thought. He said, you should come to this wedding. And I said, I don't have a dress. He said, no, just come. You don't have to tell me twice. So I went upstairs, I checked in, I took a shower, I put on my finest vintage Levi's jeans, like it was a great outfit, but not a wedding outfit. And it was a great wedding. It was a really great wedding. It was a Greek wedding, and they smashed plates. It was really nice. So there might be another wedding, but if there's a wedding, I'll always at least walk in and say congratulations. That's always nice. And then people want to give you cake. I like doing that stuff. But again, I like my life. I live a fun life. I will take that chance because the story that will come from it is what is the benefit. And to not be put off by being silly or being childlike. because we're all these kids in grown-up bodies, but we're still we're that childlike being that wants to have fun and to be challenged, or to truly just have fun. And this, I love my fun in the sun. And I started this with saying how I chose to be in the sun. Now, being from the Central Valley, it is sunny. It is warm. I think it will be a high of 75 today. And during the summers, it's like triple digits, like 110 dry heat, like skin dry, yuck. Because of that, I do like the sun. And through traveling, have gathered the exact formula for my perfect day. So some people would say, I like the sun, or I like it hot. Yeah, but you don't really have a varied degree of what hot is. Is it Qatar hot, or is it Miami hot? Is it West Africa hot, or is it Hawaii hot? These are all different variations of the same temperature. I love, my perfect temperature is between 82 and 88 with a slight breeze. That's like right now. I could take a walk. I could probably even run or cycle and not become overheated. You could garden, you could clean the backyard, whatever, in like 80s, and it's not overwhelming. You get into the 90s, the hundreds, no. 70s, it's a bit too frigid. Like, I have to be able to have my skin warm, not just the sun out. And do you want that humid, or do you want that not humid? It's a range, but until you actually know it, you don't know it. I've often had people, while living in Hawaii, they're like, oh, well, yeah, it's always hot. Well, it's perfect. It's not hot necessarily, it's perfect. And it's different. That 80 degrees on an island is completely different from 80 degrees in New York, where you have very little air circulation in buildings, and it's just different. Even that, my disdain. I'm not going to say disdain. I have New York isn't a place I like to stay. That's the best place. That's the best way to say it. However, I do like spring and early summer in New York because the temperatures are rising, but it's not hot and muggy, and it's a really beautiful time in the city. That's my most optimal time. Winter, I'm not there. Fall, maybe, but probably not. I don't want to spend that much time there. 3 months tops. So after the emergency landing, I really sat down and said, let me write my life. Let me write exactly the perfect life for me, because as you see, it will end. You were on a flight that had an emergency landing. What I took from that is life is always happening. And what I see in others is, let me change, hold on. I do not hesitate in others is, let me change, hold on. I do not hesitate because I know this could be it. But the assumption is, I'm going to live a long life. I'm going to have time. I'll do it next week. I'll do it next month. I'll do it when I feel better. That's actually why it never gets done. You have to actually set a date to do something to have it complete. And I spoke to someone who said, "Oh, Hope, I want to travel internationally with you." And I said, "Okay, so do you have your passport?" "No, I'm going to do it." "All right, so have it done by the end of the month, because you've probably been saying I'm going to do it for like 3 years. So just set a date. I will print out the forms online by the end of the month." That is one step that will lead you to the next step, that will lead you to the next step. But you can't get there unless you actually do it. Actually do it. And I saw that with life, and I believe we can hold the power to create the life we want. For me, it was freedom of time, the ability to explore the world. That is important to me, and to base myself out of a warm location, because that I just feel my best. And if I feel my best, life is pretty good. And as you age, it's helpful for your body, for your joints, for your skin. Just your ability to move outside is encouraged if it's warm. So I really wrote a list of, where do I want to live? I want to live on an island. Okay, I wanted that experience of an island, kind of touristy, because I do like that element. It like allows me, people will ask me, what beach should I go to? What restaurant should I go to? And I love that. That's a part of my knowledge from flying and traveling. So I love that. I love some transient. Like, I thought about a place where I think there was 1,500 people, and I was like, that's way too small. That's way too small. Way too small. I mean, Maui has under 200,000 full-time residents, but then there's the part-time residents and then visitors. But 1,500, no way. No. I do like, see, that's the thing. I like a city, but I don't have to be in a city. I do like the ability to have restaurants that are delicious, and events, and you can always travel to that. Like, you create your life where you can travel to what you want, which is nice. So that's how I kind of pinpointed Hawaii, which I love. And it's such a comfortable space, and with the fruits and vegetables and the history, and just the aina, just the entire environment. It really allowed beauty to be seen in a different way. And it was great during COVID, because I moved to Maui at the end of 2019. And my emergency landing happened that March or May. And I had the emergency land. I moved. That's when I said, okay, I'm going to move. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I used all of that. Thank you, Tish, me already. I used all that, what would be discomfort, to create a completely different life. Use what you have as a magnetic force for transformation. Like, I can either say this was scary, I had an emergency landing that scared me, and I'm going to carry this fear, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Or I can say, let me take that and transmute it, or meditate on it, or pray with it, or journal it out, or use it and say, okay, I know what this is, and I'm going to use this as the catalyst for my new life, for how I am showing up in the world now, for my new chapter, for change. Because of that, every day I'm showing up. Every day. And tap the screen, continue to like the live. It's the exact number is 345. That's funny. And because life is always lifing, there's always something that you can use as your catalyst for change. And this is often seen a lot with like relationships. People break up and then they use that breakup for gym time, to lose weight, to start a new skincare routine, to change their hair, to move. Like that's that same powerful, thank you for liking the live, that powerful energy that you can use. You have to be aware, whatever you feel, you can just almost shift it. You can be sad and use that same feeling into creativity or into change or just into something productive. Well, when are you going to? Go. Go. Oh, the sun feels great. Like it really does. Being able to really say, how can this benefit me? How can this benefit me? How am I changing from this? How am I growing in this? Instead of, this always happens to me. This is the worst thing. Why does this happen to me? No, ask better questions. How is this strengthening me? What am I to learn from this? How am I growing in this? What has changed in me from this? What is the solution in this? Asking questions that may bring answers that are beneficial. Because saying, why is this happening to me? Do you really want to know? You could just ask a different question. And I remember yesterday someone called, if there's any questions, actually, someone actually said, let me on live, and I answered a really cool question. I think I answered it. I just gave my feedback. So if there's something that wants to be discussed, you're welcome to ask to come on. Because the guy yesterday, Percy, was saying how the women he's been meeting have been superficial and focused on financial substance. And I said, great, don't tell me that, and stop telling people that, because for me that tells me two things. First, it tells me I don't want to talk to you if that's how you choose to use your time when you first meet someone. And secondly, you're really saying more about yourself and maybe your expectation of others in that response. So here's another perspective. All of that is true. I'm not negating what you feel or your experience or your thoughts. I'm assuming all of that is true. And what did you like? What do you like about me? What do you like about the person you're speaking to? That creates an area of a conversation being had instead of just showing. I just don't care to hear it. Whenever anything negative is said in a conversation, it kind of cuts the conversation, unless the person wants to build upon that negativity. I don't like this. Oh, great. I don't like this either. Great. That's something we agree on. We don't like this together. We can build upon that. I'm the complete opposite. As soon as something negative is said, it's like, ugh. Couldn't you just see the bright side? Like, come on, see the bright side, see the lesson in it. But either way, it's not about me. I am one thought in a pool of thoughts. The point is to build on something that is open and positive. Thank you for sharing the live, Zeddy. Thank you for sharing the live. And yeah, don't waste my time. Baby, you got one shot. You talking to me. You talking to me. You talking to me. Your time is extremely valuable because my time is valuable. And if you're talking about nothing, what's up, Alan Jeter? You talking about nothing is like, I'll just walk away. I have no problem walking away in mid-conversation or just saying that is great and I'm going to continue on with my day. Have something beneficial to add to life. And that's almost like with life. Add your benefit to life. Add something beautiful to life. I don't know what it is. You know what it is. I don't know what it is. But there's something beautiful you add to life. So add it. To me, it's my storytelling, and I love it. And it's engaging. And I've seen the world, and now I'm traveling the world storytelling. And it's the beauty of saying yes to your gift. Thank you, Alan Jeter, for liking the live. Continue to like the live. There was a time where I never wanted to be seen doing this, and I always knew this was my gift. And so even with, the sun, I just want to take off my clothes and be in the sun. But I'm on live, and there's like people driving, so I can't do that. But I will later. I started speaking at the perfect time because I always knew this is what I would do. And there was pings throughout my life when I was still based in London. Now I'm seeing everything happens at its perfect time. And I shared with you, I moved from New York, New Jersey to Maui, November 2019. So I live a great life. My ability to just change my own circumstances within my will, I'm limitless. I feel like I can do anything, and it's simply because I just believe it. There's no other evidence than just my sheer belief. And knowing your gift means that you will know that it has to be shown, and it may constantly be hidden, but you can't run from your gift. It's always reminding you that it's there. So if you played guitar, great. You don't have to go and start a band, but continue to do it and fulfill your soul in that way and grow as that art, as a musician or as a writer or as a painter. The point is not to be the highest grossing. The point is that you're constantly moving that creative energy, or you feel lighter, it's therapeutic, it's what you loved to do as a kid and now you're an adult and you don't have time. I was in my book club yesterday, and someone in my book club said, I would do what I would work out more, but, as an adult, I don't have time. I said, you always have time. You make time for things that are important. You have complete control of your time. It may be that you get up earlier. It may be that you cut out your 6 hours of screen time. It may be that you cut out your Netflix time. You actually have an abundance of time. You just haven't tracked where it's going. So when you track where your time and your attention is going, you actually see you have a lot of time. Some people take it, sometimes it's robbed from you, but check in to your time. You do not have to be on TikTok for 6 hours. I'm going to be on TikTok for an hour. I'm going to speak. After that, I have stuff to do. You have time, and stop saying you don't have time, because your body is just hearing that you don't have time, and it will find every substantiated evidence proving that you don't have time. I have time. I always say that. I have so much time. I have all the time in the world. I have as much time as I need. Like, I get there safely. I don't need to rush. Even saying that and feeling that, everyone's so rushed. Why are people so rushed? Like, I gotta get there. Why? What happens? Well, I'm late. Okay, but then what happens? Do you explode? Like, what is so terrible about being late? Now, you have two options. Either accept that you will be 3 minutes past time, and that's okay. No one dies. No one is harmed. No one will keep the score. Like, really sit with the fear of what will happen, because you will understand that it's not that big of a deal. Or leave earlier. I don't care to be rushed, so I do allow time. I build time in. My dad always taught me that. You will always feel better when you have more time. Tell me who's your wife who's speaking on live. I gotta check this out. And I do have time, but I'm aware of time. You don't get, my mom tried to tell me, well, when are you gonna do it? When it gets done. Like, when it gets done. I'm not gonna give you an exact time, because I'm not. And it will get done today. You can honor my word. It will get done today. I don't know the benefit of telling you what time, because I can tell you a time, but if it's not done by then, so what? Like, switch the focus off of when and switch the focus onto it will be completed. I don't care when. Even in a working situation, I don't care when you get it done. There is a timeline, but you get it done when you get it. There's a timeline, but you get it done when you get it done. Just get it completed. And I've only chosen professions where I've had that freedom of time. So I've never had a professional job. I don't know corporate at all. None of this makes sense to me, because I've never done it outside of working in my dad's office and my understanding from an observer's view. Because I've never done it outside of working in my dad's office and my understanding from an observer's view. But I also am not going to say somewhere that I don't want to be. And that's even with jobs. I believe when you get comfortable just accepting, I'll just accept it. Well, then that only calls for more acceptance of maybe things that you don't actually deserve. And how that will spill into other areas of our life. I won't say anything because I don't want them to feel uncomfortable. I won't give my supervisor feedback because I want them to like me. I won't tell that friend that what they said was hurtful because it's not that big of a deal. But if you never actually say it, no one actually knows, and that hurts you. It actually hurts you that your thought is of another person over your well-being. The sun is amazing. Wow. Oh my gosh. I love being in the sun. All of you mopes that are in the snow and the cold, stop. It's terrible. Leave. And don't tell me you can't. You can. And it's terrible. You'll be inside the house in oversized clothes, and you don't have to be. You could be outside tanning with me. But because you say no, because you say I can't do that, why would I do that? How am I supposed to do that? You stay in the same position. And that's why misery is just rampant. But I believe when you take the courage to take your life into your complete responsibility, this is for me. Again, I am not stating that this is ultimate truth. This is my truth. It's a truth. It's not the truth. If something applies, fantastic. If something doesn't apply, fantastic. I do not say that this is it for everyone. This is it for hope. But this is why I'm a badass and no one can tell me anything, because I do what I want. And whatever that takes. I'm tough. I'm smart. I'm powered by the sun. I drink my water and my tea. And I'm just fulfilled in my uniqueness. If I was telling my mom, like, okay, Mom, I'm going in the backyard to tan naked, just like, so you know I'm still here. And anyone who hasn't been on my lives, I'm with my parents because my father died December 27th. So I'm just a little over a month in of my father dying at 76, natural causes, beautiful service. I'm living in his legacy. I have all the tools I need for grief, and I'm flowing in what that looks like. And grief looks different for everyone. I'm also going to say I'm somewhat of a spokesperson of grief looks different for everyone. I'm also going to say I'm somewhat of a spokesperson of that thought that you fear, like, I love my parent, I don't ever want my parent to die. First of all, they're gonna die. And second of all, you'll be okay. It's not going to be the most life-altering, shocking thing. You will be okay, and I'm a testament to that. You will. And you will find the strength, and you will be forever in love of them. And it is a beautiful experience to love a memory and love a lesson and love the life that someone played in front of you. And that's why I do a lot of sun, because I know I am processing this. However, like, it's not that I'm tough, I'm just aware, and I'm aware of grief, and I have a great therapist, and I journal every day, and I meditate, and I make sure to be out and move my body and eat good foods and have times of quiet. So I still feel everything, however I feel it. If I feel an expression of tears, I let those tears go, and then you move past it. It may be 5 minutes or 15 minutes. However, I don't fear any of these feelings, because feelings are meant to be felt, and then they're released and life goes on. It's not this immediate feeling of nonstop agony and doom for the next 80 years. No, sometimes it's there, and I listen to it and I release it and I go on. And me telling my mom, because I do get my tanning in. I love a naked sunbathe or journaling. Like, I take 30 minutes or an hour out to do that. And my mom is like, okay. It's not like, oh, why are you doing that? My parents just accepted their children. Yeah, the orange tree is in my backyard. The orange tree, and I have all those oranges. I'm going to eat some today. I was thinking, what else am I going to do with these oranges? Maybe I'll give them to the neighbors, because there's so many oranges, and they will be used. So the oranges are delicious. I will go home, walk home, and make some delicious orange juice. I am sitting here grounding my walk home and make some delicious orange juice. I am sitting here grounding myself with my feet in the grass. And thank you, Rodney Houston 138 for the follow. Surrounded by lucky ladybugs, luck is all around me. Great things have happened, are happening, are in the process of happening, just are here all the time. And I feel it and I'm spreading it because my words are powerful. So, yeah, the beauty of the acceptance I had from my parents, which brought the comfort, and this is why I don't explain to people. I don't explain my choices, because if I wasn't going to explain my choices to my parents, I'm definitely not going to explain it to like my an employer or somebody else. No, this is what I choose to do. And I'm confident in my choices. And that's really what it comes down to. Confidence, the belief in yourself. And I asked my dad, how did you teach us to speak with confidence? And thank you for continuing to like the live. And he said, when you know what you're talking about, you believe in it. If you don't, and he said, when you know what you're talking about, you believe in it. If you don't believe in something, it translates when you talk. If you don't believe in what you're selling, it translates. And that comes back to you. If you don't believe in yourself, even when you speak, it's felt. That is felt. We've all been in the presence of people who it's just something off. And actually, that was a big learning space for me, because I'm often picking up that discomfort from others. It wasn't that I was uncomfortable. I was feeling their discomfort, their anxious. Up that discomfort from others. It wasn't that I was uncomfortable. I was feeling their discomfort, their anxiousness. Like, okay, I'm going to have to do a little bit more awareness of that and clearing of that. But I knew that from dudes I was with. Like, it's not that I'm uncomfortable. It sure is, Jody. I love nature, and we are nature. It wasn't me. I was picking up on his anxiousness. Oh, okay. Like, sometimes it's not you. On his anxiousness. Oh, okay. Like, sometimes it's not you. Sometimes you're just actually feeling that discomfort from the other person. And it can be other things. I feel when like a wave of success or a wave of prosperity or a wave of happiness and joy and money and health, like I feel, oh, okay, this feels good. I'm relaxed. When I'm my freest self, that's when I feel those things. When you're not second guessing yourself, like just believing everything is always working out, even better than I know. Because you think you know, but it's actually even better than you know. And I felt that with my father's death, and like even the beauty of that, because there was parts of that experience where I was saying I feel alone. The man that brought me into this world is no longer here, and I feel without that presence, something isn't there. And in that time, with those tears, with that journaling, what I found is I am enough to stand on my own. And that directly comes from this person, and it's the perfect timing. And it's not that I'm standing alone. I am standing with others that came before me. And I'm always I always have everything I need. That's it. I'm never without. And I remember saying that to my sister because we were in the, I will, Zach, I will. Thank you. With the beautiful blue skies. As I said, like, I'm going to speak a little bit more and then walk back home and lovingly strip off my clothes and tan in the sun. It's my favorite thing. And this is why I like the hot weather, because you can walk around naked when it's cold. That's also a thing too. It just isn't as sexy. It doesn't feel as good. I remember while we were in the hospital in December that my sister, who lives in Charlotte, we were almost switching shifts, because while my dad was in the hospital, it was a maximum of 2 people in his room at the time. Sometimes they would allow a third, my mom, to always be there. And so there's 5 of us, 5 girls. And so 2 of us were coming out, 2 of us were going in, and we were speaking by the reception desk at the hospital. She had arrived into California because she lives in Charlotte and went straight to the hospital. So me seeing her at the hospital, thank you, Alan, was my first time seeing her since she had arrived in the state. And so I gave her a hug, good to see you. And she had said, I said, what are you feeling in this moment? She said, it is difficult to see Daddy like this. It's difficult. And I said, no, I understand. And she said, how are you doing, Hope? And I said, I have everything I need. I have everything I need. Because I do. In every moment, I have everything I need. I had that support system. Thank you, Duke and Jack, for the follow. I have tissue, I have me, I have a journal, I have TikTok, I have tools to allow me to feel and release. And I have everything I need. And how powerful that is. And we all have everything we need in every moment in life. Every moment in life. Every moment in life, you have everything you need. Now, you may fear you don't. Most of the time, you don't realize you have everything you need until that exact moment, or until that exact situation, or until that exact heartbreak, but you do. So the shortcut is just assuming I have everything I need. I am always okay. I'm always going to be okay. Everything is always working out. Even when it's painful and there's tears and it doesn't make sense, it's working out in my favor. It is. It's a crazy thought, but just the imagination of believing that it will work out instead of the opposite. Instead of, this is it for me, I'm done. It's done out here. I'm finished out here. No, it's not. Like, come on. And there's a beauty in strength. Like, my dad would say people are wimps and people are idiots, which is true. You got to be tough. And when I talk to my parents, because I have yet to create children with a life partner, I was asking my parents, like, what did you want to impart in your children? Not what did you want to do like Disney World. What did you want to put in the human being? Because that's the point of, to me, a parent. You're a guide. You're there to teach. If you don't have anything to teach, I remember one of my nieces saying, I want my grandmother to see my kids. You're 20. Stop thinking about kids. You don't even know anything to teach a kid. Like, live your life, become the woman that you are, become that strength and that power and that goddess, and learn what you like and learn what you don't like, and create and build and fail and regenerate and restyle yourself, then think about whatever else. But your goal first is building you, not building a partner or building a family. Build you. Once you build you, you're unstoppable. The beauty of my experience is I have a great time. Whether in partnership or not, I'm having a great time. I'm traveling whether I have a gentleman or not. I'm thrifting, I'm investing, I'm moving to different countries. I'm doing this anyway. It's not until he comes or when he comes or if he comes. I have a fulfilled life. I'm really confident with me. I never hear anyone say, because single men work so hard. It's only with women. What is the other option? What is the other option? I believe it will happen for me. So I'm never in the belief that there's no one out there that is the perfect choice. Not even that. Let me rephrase that. I always know that it's timing. And really that it's me. So I'm never in the belief that there's a lack of a person out there that will complement and uplift and be a companion and a partner and a friend and a lover and a supporter, all of that. I know that's there. I know that's in life for me. My belief is I am that for someone is that for me. So in the meantime, I live my life and it will happen. I'm never actually saying I'm looking for someone, no, I am always finding me. So whoever comes around me is going to have a good time anyway. This is why people are attracted to lighthearted, fun people. I'm not complaining about what someone did to me. I let that go. I grow. I'm on to the next. Don't come up to me with something negative, with a complaint, with why life isn't working, with why relationships aren't working, with why your business idea didn't work, with why your mama didn't like you, with why your daddy didn't like you, with why your cousin took your shoes when you were 12. No one cares. Accept it. What are you going to do about it now? You've been complaining for 20 years. That has done nothing but brought attention to the fact that you've done nothing for 20 years. Do something about it. Accept it. It happened. What are you going to do about it? That's it. The fact that you've done nothing for 20 years. Do something about it. Accept it. It happened. What are you going to do about it? That's it. Outside of that, shut up. That's it. Outside of that, shut up. At least to me. Because I don't want to hear that noise. Matter of fact, I'm not going to listen to that. I see why a lot of you guys are single. You guys are miserable. And you believe, a lot of you guys are single. You guys are miserable. And you believe you're a catch. And you're not. You actually haven't done the work. And you actually are the problem. And as I said, I believe that's a beautiful space to say, like, wait a minute, is it me? Do I always say it's them? Because if it's always, wait a minute, let me see. Is this a consistent, man, I haven't been the best, most honest shoot, okay. How can I grow from this? Like, instead of saying, woe is me, this is terrible, how can I grow from this? Sometimes you are that person. And it all comes from a space of growth. It all comes from that space of growth. And, sometimes you got to be the scout. It all comes from that space of growth. And, sometimes you got to be the scoundrel to understand that scoundrel ways may not be beneficial to your growth. And I may have been the scoundrel in someone's story, but a well-curated scoundrel. And I learned from it, and that's the point. And I just enjoy every moment of life. There's never a time where I'm saying, I will like life when it's hot outside, when I have my favorite lip gloss, when I lose weight. No, it's great now in every moment. I said that on my birthday in the hospital with my father. It's just a change of perspective. Instead of the feeling of, I'm in the ICU with my father on my birthday, it's raining outside, this is a terrible day. No, it's a great day. I'm sharing another birthday with my father. That's how I shifted it. I choose not to willingly go in that space. I can always put it to my benefit. The beauty is, I had one more and the last birthday with my father. Period. I can take out the hospital bit. I can take out the ICU bit. I can take out within a month from that day, he died. It's the fact that I had that birthday with my father. I had my 40th birthday with my father. How many people don't get to, not even that. I don't even have to compare it. I can feel grateful for that, regardless of how the situation plays out. I'm grateful that I'm here celebrating the birthday. And when you have that ability, then nothing gets you, because y'all are really upset and angry and allow anything to get you off your center. Nothing bothers me. If I'm not bothered by my father being in the ICU on my 40th birthday and being in the room, why would I let someone who cut me off in traffic, or who didn't call me back, or who didn't text? I'm not even thinking about that. I let it go. I'm not grasping onto all of that. Thank you, T. And so what? Someone hurt you. Sure. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to keep telling the story of what this person did? No one cares about the story. Grow from it. What are you going to do about it? Another ladybug. I'm like surrounded by ladybugs all over, which are a sign of good luck. And I remember right before I moved to Hawaii, I was living in a brand new, beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. It was not a penthouse loft. It was a beautiful space in Newark, New Jersey, in the new redesigned area in Newark, New Jersey. I could walk to a Whole Foods that was 4 or 5 blocks away. It was a beautiful space. And I remember waking up with ladybugs on my arm. And I was thinking, how are these ladybugs even getting into the house to be on my arm as I wake up? And I see ladybugs as huge sources of confirmation, luck, you're on the right track, perfect timing, like a reminder. And so anytime I see one, I will show you. And I do that because then I'm always in expectancy of great things, and I'm always reminded like it's happening. Every step I'm taking, I'm so grateful for this walk. I'm grateful. And the beauty of just being grateful in everyday things. Because sometimes feeling joy and happiness is delayed or thought of when I'm on vacation, or no, enjoy it now. Enjoy it in this moment. Enjoy your space. Enjoy your solitude. I really enjoy myself. This is what it's never that I'm ever looking for anything. I truly believe I attract everything. And I attract exactly what's for me, for my highest good. I believe it and I trust it. So great individuals come into my life. I'm never grasping for straws. And I also see like intimate relationships as fun. I don't go into it thinking he's terrible. I'm not going to think that, because whatever you hold, you will see. Whatever you hold, you will see. And when I hear people talk, I just hear like, you're holding that? If you can hold that, geez, you're probably holding a lot. And even understanding that you can release things like that. You do not have to hold things. You do not have to hold on and be defined by your anger or your sorrow or your solitude. Like, that doesn't have to be your personality of I'm the angry one. You can choose to feel different. You have to choose, which starts with asking yourself, how do I feel? Do I want to feel this way? Are my shoulders tight? A lot of times when you check in, you'll see you may be holding your breath. Me too, Alan. So why didn't you buy a place in Hawaii? A tightness in the neck, an anxiousness to respond. Like, when you start checking in and seeing you have so much ability to relax, and relax meaning, why do I need to feel that I have to win this argument with this person? What is in me that feels that I must tell this person that they're wrong about that? Feels that I must tell this person that they're wrong about that. Like, really ask, what are you defending? Do you get a trophy? Is someone keeping score? Is it like some invisible force that what is so meaningful that you will allow someone to get your blood pressure up? Because there's nothing that's meaningful to get your blood pressure up. That's why y'all have high blood pressure. High blood pressure. Man, I have really low blood pressure. And last time I had my blood pressure taken, the person taking my blood pressure was like, wow, your blood pressure is really low. It's almost... The person taking my blood pressure was like, wow, your blood pressure is really low. It's almost like abnormally low. Really low. It's almost like abnormally low. I said, well, I don't let people bother me, so I will keep my low blood pressure. I have optimal blood pressure, let me say that. But that is a sign. When you immediately start feeling tightness in your neck, take 5 breaths. Because that shows that your immediate response is probably just to respond, like, chill. Let me take 5 breaths. Because the more breaths you take, you just have more time to actually understand that you get to choose to give a reaction. Or you could respond. Or you could not say anything. But this immediate need of, I have to tell, wait, just wait. Wait 5 seconds, and then wait 5 more seconds. And that gets tiring. That gets old. Always having to argue with people, to tell them that you're right. And this is only me coming from a neutral space. Whatever you believe, sure. For me, really, everything is sure. Cool. That's what you believe? Okay, sure. It has no effect on me. I don't need to tell you I don't believe in that. I don't care. Why do you tell me that you don't believe in my opinion? It's my opinion. I was birthed at a certain time and got to this moment, and that's how I see life. I don't care if you don't like it. It's not for you to like. But that's also a space of like true confidence. I'm not looking at anyone's opinion of me to add to me, to define me, to give me worthiness. I've given myself the worthiness. That's it. There's something going on in my life because can someone define this? I keep seeing condoms on the ground, which is very like, this is not the first, because there's more. Maybe someone opened a box and just threw them on the ground, and it stands out because that's like the third or fourth one I've seen. So maybe it's, I don't know. That true confidence will make you bored with people. You will be bored with people because confidence is easily taken away from you. And a lot of us are in spaces where we just don't feel confident. And I speak to make you laugh and show you that you're very unique and special. And you're just fine the way you are. Your need to argue someone's opinion being right or wrong may come from a space, I don't know, I don't even care. Just like, you're okay. The ultimate message is you're okay. And the beauty of feeling that childlike confident behavior, that childlike behavior where you would run and kick the ball or paint a picture without thinking, does Jimmy want me to paint a picture? Did I kick the ball hard enough? It was just a freedom of, this is what I want and this is what I'm doing. And I believe slightly that that's our journey in life, to get back to return back to us and get in the sun. In between all of these messages, I have to always say the sun is so important. The sun is so important. The sun is so important. And I know that because living in London or anywhere, East Coast, yeah, but London took it to another extreme. I don't care to be without sun for weeks at a time. Even in Hawaii, right now it's like winter, it's rainy season, it will be overcast, but eventually the bright sun will come out. What's safety first, Jody? What's safety first? I'm always safe. I'm dangerous. So London, you can easily go 3 months, 4 months and never see sun. It's the same gray every day. And that is nothing that I ever want to experience ever again. Or I found that during winters, especially while living in Europe, you just travel to warm places, which is what I did. But it's for the birds. It's for the birds. And that was important to me. My home is never like an investment. My home is exactly where I want to be. It's exactly what I want, exactly where I want to be, exactly. Not because it was cheap or no. Most of the time when it's cheap, there's a reason why it's cheap. And I've been known to not like cheap things. My mom always said I was the most expensive kid, and of wealth and basing yourself exactly where you want to be. Like thinking, what would it be like if I lived in, I don't know, Florida? If you vacationed to Florida and you enjoyed the hot weather. Think about it. Think about where you would love to live. Dream about it. Hold it dear. Because maybe that's something that you actually can do. And for me, it's always in the sun. And other housing structures, almost like where my mom and sisters can come, that they could hop on the golf cart to go to their respective homes on the compound, because I would love for, that is a thing, but I don't want you guys under my same roof. I would love for you to stay, but hop on the golf cart and go to your own house. That's how that will go. I love you better when you're like not under the same roof, like when I don't have to wake up and see you. Does anyone else feel like that? I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. So, oh, there's an olive tree here. I had mentioned in California, there's a lot of natural fruit trees, and there's a lot of olive trees, citrus trees, pomegranate, and I don't know if you've seen an olive tree, but this is just an olive tree. Extending the olive branch, that's an olive tree. And my dad would use the wood from the olive orchards to smoke his barbecue. And every wood has different oils in the wood, so it gives the barbecue a different taste. And so sometimes he would use olive wood, sometimes he would use apricot wood, grapevine wood, all sorts, and you get a different flavor. So yeah, that's it, and that's it for my walk. I don't know. Is there anything else? Are there any questions? Because I did take someone had some feedback. I love taking my walk. I really love my walk. Okay, well then I will close because it's time for my sun time while I do things. My sun time while I do things. Yeah, eclectic, exactly. Yeah, you know what I found, because there was a lot of family around the past month or so, I'm not really around family. I respect and love all family, but being the flight attendant, I would pop in and pop out. So I often wasn't at family events. And so to actually be around family is to be reminded, or this is what I learned, this is family. These aren't people, all these are strangers that have some connection to you. But it doesn't mean that you have to like them or understand them or they'll like you. Like, they're people. Some you will understand and mesh with, some you won't. That's all a part of it. And I'm gonna make me the best bowl of oatmeal. And yeah, I treat it as such. So I like the kids. Like my nieces and nephews, I hang out with them all the time. We go thrift shopping. Is it cold in North Carolina? Does it warm up at midday? You can come tan with me. Maybe I'll do that because I'm really going to strip down and tan. It's the best feeling. It's the best feeling. And then do what I have to do for the day. But you have a little son now, Jody. You have the son. What does that man think honking at me and waving is going to do? Yeah, family is just that. I mean, I don't, and I've always seen it as that. And what is this? Yeah, they're just family members. Like, they're just lame people. They're not lame people. They're just people. And I think I'm grown. I'm a very, I am my own person. So I just don't identify, I don't identify with doing something for someone. I don't identify with keeping people in my life that just don't hold characteristics of people I want in my life. So if you constantly come and like steal things from my home, I would not want you in my home, family or not, because that is a violation. And for me, I take time into the things that I purchase so they all have meaning. I don't just buy anything. I take my time and I buy the exact things I want. So if someone is taking those things, for me it's a heavy violation because I love my things. Now, if this is a consistent pattern, then I no longer expect, I don't expect a different behavior. And I share that because I spoke with someone who had said, you know, they should be doing this, they should be doing this. And I said, but the person has only shown you the opposite consistently. Why would you expect a change in behavior from consistent behavior? That is you're the problem at that. You're the problem at that point. I would let go of any expectation. However, if a person has consistent behavior of some trait or some habit, I accept that the person has been consistent with this. If it's not okay for me, I remove myself, family or not. And sometimes family believes, well, I don't know if they believe, this is a thought. Maybe they can present themselves in any way and it's okay because they're related to you. That's insane. That's crazy. Like, what kind of, no, absolutely not. This sun is so great. I even saw my tan, which I love, looking nice and healthy. So I like these morning walks. This is like the second or third time I've came on with my morning walks. And I'm going to be doing this regularly because I have no service when I go hiking, but I have service during my sexy morning walk, which I always say I take. And because of that, I like bringing you around. And I am a storyteller. That's what I do. There's lessons in the stories. I tell a story well. I've lived a well-lived life. I look good doing it. And the goal is just to listen. The goal is to listen and see maybe there's something to learn from the story. I have my TED Talk in my link in bio, or you can go to YouTube and look up Hope TED Talk, the emergency landing you need. And it really focuses on what I speak about, which is the beauty of you, us, our individual, special uniqueness that we each are. And there's some beautiful events that are happening this year, and some panels and some festivals where I will share these same ideas and stories. And that's what I come on here to do every day. There's a few people in here that are my hopefuls, which are my tribe. It's not even followers. It's like my tribe. We are open and optimistic, powerful, resilient, strong, beautiful, keeping it looking good. And I have I love my Birkenstocks. I can bring my Birkenstocks back out, which I'm so happy about. And I like doing this. I really enjoy this. So anyone who's listening to me, this is like, I believe, my gift, and I love doing it, and I'm honing it every time I come on. So if you miss my lives, all of my lives are uploaded onto my YouTube, Hope is Speaking, under Daily TikTok Lives. Subscribe to my YouTube. I upload other content, and there's speaker content and confidence content. I took a little time off after the death of my father, and we are slowly in the process of things. And I love to be in the sun. I tan. I tell all of my followers, my hopefuls, to go outside, get some sun, walk, move your body. I'm just an earth goddess trying to do what I was called to do. So, be the reflection of love, because we all come from an infinite source of love. Show up. And when I say show up, I mean actually show up. If you say you're going to work out, show up. If you say you're going to be there at 5, show up at 5. If you say you're changing 5, show up at 5. If you say you're changing a thought or a habit, show up repetitively every day and do it. That's the only way it will get done. And find comfort in you. And I found that because I'm going into next to the pool to lay out naked and tan. Because I'm going into next to the pool to lay out naked and tan. And even me saying that is somewhat, it would have been uncomfortable at times. And it took me saying, all right, time for me to strip off and tan. I love you. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye. And thank you for liking the live. We got it up to just under 5,000. Really appreciate it. I'm great. That's right. Motivation. That's right. Listen, that's what we do. Now I have to go do some abs, because I can't be caught slipping. Bye.